Hey everybody, it's Didi back with another video. First of all, I'd like to thank Ms. Roosevelt, who is a natural hair blogger here on YouTube, for giving me a shout out a couple days ago on her channel. I think it's because of her that I've gotten so many interested subscribers, and I thank her very much for that. Nice big help. Okay, today I'm going to be talking about the 12 my 12 best reads from 2012. I read 51 books last year, and the 12 that I'm going to present to you are my favorites. Okay, so we're going to start with the first book, which is The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. This book is extraordinary. The whole series, I think, is extraordinary. It's a detective novel that was written by Stieg Larsson. This is book 3, which I read last year. And the year before last, I read The Girl with a Dragon Tattoo, which is the first book. And the second book, which is The Girl Who Played with Fire, which is the second one. Excellent series, very different from probably a lot of other detective novels because it is written by someone who was a journalist. Stieg Larsson started as a journalist and then became an author, and unfortunately died of a massive heart attack before he actually realized how popular he was actually going to be. Which is a bit of a shame because I would have liked to have seen book 4, because apparently there was a book 4 in the making. And he died before he could finish writing it. So it's in some bank vault somewhere, unfinished. So that was the first book. Okay, second book is Persepolis. Persepolis is a semi-autobiographical novel by Marjane Satrapi, who is Persian. And this is a fabulous book. It's a graphic novel, if you don't know. So it looks like this. And the movie is exactly like the book. And in this particular book, it's basically it's her childhood story and the return to Iran story. So when she's a young adult. And it is so good. It really does have universal themes in it. You know, people just want to be happy. They want to fall in love. They want to get married to who they want to get married to. And it shows the difficulty of living under a totalitarian type government and how the people survive and get through all of these, you know, family upheavals and change of jobs and trying to study and all that. And it's very, very good. Excellent read. Okay, next book that I actually loved was 32 Candles. Okay, this is written by Ernessa T. Carter. And this is a book that is a little bit about, I would say it's like a coming of age, but it's actually, it stems from a young African-American girl's dream to have a better life, but basically to get the boy, you know, the boy that, the rich, nice, attractive, cute boy, just like in the Molly Ringwald movies. I'm sure you've all watched them, 16 Candles and Breakfast Club, that kind of thing. But it's a very good book. It's easy to read. It's a pretty fast read, but it's well done. It's an interesting twist of the story, told in a very interesting way. So check that out. Okay, my next one, of course, I think you all know this one, The Hunger Games. Okay, I read this series and I loved The Hunger Games. But unfortunately, you know, this was the hype for me. And then it went down after that. So there was Catching Fire, which I thought was good, but not as good as this one. And then there was Mockingjay, which I absolutely couldn't get on board with. I mean, too many dead good characters. I just, ugh, depressing. But anyway, I didn't really like Mockingjay, but I love The Hunger Games. So if you haven't read that, you should definitely read it. It's a good YA one, this one. Okay, the next one, which was really good, is Annie John by Jamaica Kincaid. And this is a book that I heard about through another YouTuber. Her name is Marina Nsonga. I think she's from the Congo. And she told me about Jamaica Kincaid, and she said, "Oh no, you have to read it. It's so good. It's so good." So I read Annie John at the beginning of last year, and I absolutely loved it. It's a coming of age novel about a young girl who lives in Antigua, and it is great because you have all of that, living on the island, conflict with her mother. It's really very interesting. It's kind of like the kind of book you'd like to read in summer because the images are all of living on an island, and that's really good. But it's an excellent read, and it's short, so you could read it probably in a couple hours. Okay, next book, Home by Toni Morrison. I'm sure you've all heard about this one, but this is Toni Morrison's latest book. I found this book very good. It's not her best, but that's okay. Toni Morrison is one of my favorite authors, so she can do no wrong, basically. But it's an easy storyline to follow. It's basically a young African American soldier who comes back from the Korean conflict, and he is searching for home. And in particular, he's searching for his sister who so desperately needs to be found. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? All right, so check that one out. The next one, The Science of Black Hair. Now, this book is, or should be, the Bible for all natural hair ladies like me and men. Because this book came out, I think it was a couple of years ago, maybe a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. And I've been natural now for 3 years. It's going to be 3 years on the 7th of January. And this book came at just the right time. I had been natural for about a year, and this book came out. And basically, it outlines everything about hair. So it gives you tips on how to keep your hair moisturized, the different products, which products work best. It really is a shortcut to finding a proper regimen so that you can keep your hair healthy and moisturized. And you can stop all of that looking for the perfect curl thing and all this other silliness with, becoming product junkies and stuff, because there will always be products out there, but, simplicity works the best. And this book can help you find it. So, very interesting read. All right, next one. The Hobbit. Okay. Now, I could kick myself for not having read this book earlier because it was fabulous. I really, 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 really liked it. So I bought this edition on Amazon. As you can see, it's like this and, like that. And you flip it out. You got that. Yeah, it sort of looks nice, doesn't it? Well, it's not really that nice because when you open it up, the pages are quite simplistic. You do have some drawings, but they're all green drawings. See if I can find one. Here's one right here. No, that one's right here. Here's one. They all have only green drawings like this. And then you have these sort of eggshelly, polka dotted something along the pages. I don't really like this. I think this was a 1976 version of The Hobbit. But I don't like it. So or maybe even do it as a giveaway and give it away to somebody who really, really wants it. But I want the 1966 version of The Hobbit. That's the one I really, really like. So, The Hobbit was a great book. Really good. Everybody should read that. It's fantastic. It's description is great for describing the world building and all of that. And if you haven't read it, you really should. If you have difficulty really imagining all these things, go see the movie. The movie wasn't bad. okay, they had added scenes in, they had added characters in, but in general, it's a fantastic movie to watch, and it'll get you into the mood. But definitely take a look at The Hobbit because it's great. Okay, now I have my last four novels. Don't have them with me because I've loaned them to people. So we have This Is Where I Leave You, Jonathan Tropper. This is a great book. It's so funny. It's sort of like in the thread of Nick Hornby, if you like Nick Hornby, but I don't really like Nick Hornby. I prefer Jonathan Harper. I find Nick Hornby just a little bit too sarcastic. I really enjoyed reading Jonathan Tropper. So basically, this is a book that starts with a guy who goes home and is carrying his wife this beautiful birthday cake because, they're getting ready to celebrate her birthday. And when he gets there, what does he find? His wife having sex with his boss. Needless to say, you can kind of imagine how what happens after that, but I won't tell you. But definitely read that one because there's some things in there that are just priceless. I mean, if you really want to know what's going on in a guy's head, you got to get that one. It's funny. It's a really good read. My next one is Silver Sparrow by Tayari Jones. Okay, Tayari Jones is an African-American writer, and I think she's from Atlanta or somewhere around Atlanta, Georgia. And the book Silver Sparrow is so well written. It's such a beautiful story. It's basically about a young African-American girl who grows up being the second family. So basically, her father has a wife and another daughter the same age as her. And her mother are his second family. So it's a really great read. I won't tell you any more than that. Next book is The White Tiger. Okay, now The White Tiger is also an excellent read. If you like reading about India, the guy who wrote that, his name is Aravand Adiga, and Aravand Adiga wrote this book, I think, in 2008, and that's when he got the Man Booker Prize, and it was his first novel. So, I mean, it's fabulous. So it's basically about, I think the guy's name is Balram something or other, I can't remember, but basically, it tracks the rise of this character. So it goes through talking about poverty in India, talking about caste, talking about family relations, and all kinds of things. Sometimes it can be very, very harsh reality of living in a city like Mumbai where, everything goes. But it is a fabulous, fantastic read. It's brilliantly written. All right, my 12th book that I don't have with me is Hotel on the Corner of Bitter and Sweet. Okay, that was written by Jamie Ford. Now, this is a book about a love story during the Second World War in the U.S. between a Chinese boy and a Japanese girl. Very good. Fabulous, sweet, tender, love story. You cannot, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. I mean, it's if you like that time period, but it's in the U.S., and that's what makes it fabulous, is this meeting of these two cultures who wouldn't normally meet up because the Chinese hate the Japanese at this time. And it's a very well-written story. So if you haven't read that and you really like this time period and you're interested in this particular subject, read it because it's a wonderful, fabulous love story. So those are pretty much my 12 favorites of 2012. Why don't you write below and tell me what your favorites were from last year, and look out for the comment box. I'll write all of these titles in there, especially for the ones that I didn't have the covers. That's all for now, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.